All right, it's an election the world has been watching. Disgraced former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo is reportedly staying in the race despite losing the Democrat primary. While some might say this is quintessential ego-driven narcissism at its peak, I guarantee you Cuomo is being begged to stay in the race because anything is better than Zohran Mamdani.
This election is not just about electing a mayor of the city of New York. This election
Oftentimes, we've even found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling. So violence is an artificial construction. And we have to be very clear that what is happening here with these district attorneys, that is violence.
Did you hear what he just said there? That violence is an artificial construction? What does that even mean? If you think Mamdani came out of nowhere, then you're about as clueless as Joe Biden was while he was in office looking for his clothes in the morning. Remember, he got lost in the closet of the White House. Mamdani, he is a communist Trojan horse in a slick, palatable package.
Go ahead, make a rap for your nanny. It's a rap. Get the guap, spin the rack on your nanny. Come through, give a dab to your nanny. If you really feeling good, spin a track for your nanny. Go ahead, make a rap for your nanny.
Unbelievable. Make a rap for your nanny. God help us with that commie. The 33-year-old self-proclaimed democratic socialist, he's a former rapper who emigrated from Uganda just 7 years ago, but he's actually a champagne socialist at best. His first job was at 29 as a New York assemblyman. Mamdani grew up in a wealthy Manhattan neighborhood. His mother is a celebrated Indian-American filmmaker who directed that rap video, by the way, and his father, a professor at Columbia University. Mamdani also attended fancy private schools.
Because I think that New Yorkers, more than they hate a politician they disagree with, they hate a politician they can't trust.
On the subject of trust, you've adopted different speaking accents in different scenarios.
But they go to their local bodega.
Is there one that's real and one that's affected?
What I would say is, as any immigrant knows, having been born in Kampala, Uganda, and then raised in South Africa and moving here when I'm 7 years old, is there are different parts of my life. Worldwide tour is a worldwide tour is a worldwide tour.
Did you hear that worldwide tour? All of a sudden, he changed his accents. This whole Robin Hood act that he's putting on, it's as fake as his accents. Mamdani is simply the byproduct of a deliberate electoral strategy to fool the masses, and it is working like we saw. I mean, this guy, he's young, he's handsome, he's charismatic, he's got that great smile. He's an archetype, right, that's been proven to be successful, just like AOC, who is backing him. Highly educated, rich, white New Yorkers voted for Mamdani, which is shocking because look at this. Take a look at this. One of his campaign promises is to tax whiter neighborhoods higher than others. Jews also voted for Mamdani. It's mind-boggling, right? This is a guy who won't say that Israel has a right to exist. And he also, listen to this, he's refusing to condemn the chants of intifada.
The phrase globalized intifada, from the river to the sea, does that make you uncomfortable?
You know, I know people for whom those things mean very different things. And to me, ultimately, what I hear in so many is a desperate desire for equality and equal rights.
Intifada does not mean equal rights. It means to kill people that don't believe in what the Muslim faith they believe in. Mamdani's own social media posts, like the one right there, revealing he's an anarchist. He's calling for the defunding of police. And not only that, listen, his defunding of the police, he wants to abolish the prison system. He wants to freeze the rent. He wants free childcare, free bus fare. He wants to decriminalize sex work. He wants to decriminalize drug possession. He wants you to be able to shoot yourself up on the streets. He wants to end cashless bail. And he also wants to end cooperation with federal authorities like ICE. That's Mamdani acting like a rabid dog, screaming at border czar Tom Homan in Albany about ICE agents simply trying to do their jobs and get these criminal illegals out of here. And perhaps, I was thinking about this. Maybe Mamdani, he wants to decriminalize drug use because New Yorkers are going to be going hungry soon. Because he also wants government-controlled grocery stores, right? Because that worked out well. We've seen that in history, right? Oh, and he also wants to allocate tens of millions in taxpayer dollars so kids can then mutilate themselves.
We're going to provide $65 million in funding for gender-affirming care, the same amount of funding that the federal government threatened to pull out from local providers for that kind of work.
So, how is Mamdani going to pay for all of the free stuff he's promising? Same way every failed communist leader has done before him.
Do you like capitalism?
No, I have many critiques of capitalism. And I think ultimately the definition for me of why I call myself a democratic socialist is the words of Dr. King decades ago. He said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There must be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. And that's what I'm focused on, is dignity and taking on income inequality.
Wow, wow, wow. A mayoral candidate in the United States of America, the favorite to win the New York City mayoral race. You just heard him right there, openly admitting he wants a distribution of wealth. Guys, that's right out of the Communist Manifesto. As an actual born and raised Bronx girl, unlike AOC, who was raised in a wealthy suburb, by the way, 35 miles away from the Bronx in Yorktown Heights, I am saddened, I am disgusted by the sheer stupidity that anyone would ever even think to vote for this guy. Even rapper 50 Cent expressing what anyone with common sense is feeling about Mamdani. Let's get this guy out of here. He has no business in government. Mamdani is a fraud. How ridiculous to claim he's for the working man. He's an elitist when he's never had to work a day in his life. Like every socialist, communist leader before him, anarchist, whatever you want to call him, he wants those socialist policies, the communist policies for you, not for him, in order to maintain what every regime aspires for, right? Power and ultimate control. But perhaps this is what needs to happen. Perhaps in order for the entire country, the entire world to wake up from this woke nonsense, the once greatest, richest, largest city has to fall. But here's my fear. New York City will fall so far that even a Giuliani-type leader can never bring it back.